longer I live here in the Netherlands, the more and more things I'm starting to find that I can do here that I can't do in America. Matter of fact, I've been compiling a list, and let's just say that this might have to be a series episode. So this is part 1. Oh, don't get hit by a bike. To things that I can do here in the Netherlands that I cannot do in the States, this is a lot of personal things, and it's basically my perspective. And I'm basing all of this off of my own experience living both in the Netherlands as well as in the States. Now I gotta super say that because if you wanna pull up, make sure you pull up in the comments. Pull up right after you hit that like and subscribe button. But man, I remember when I was living back in the States, I used to get harassed a lot. And I'm mainly talking about like from the police. And if I'm being real, I have no idea why. But I still remember from a young age being arrested for playing basketball. Me, my uncle, and my sister, we got arrested for playing basketball across the street from where we live. A cop is also responsible for this thing right here in the middle of my head right there from pushing me up against the wall to search me, which also happened when I was extremely young. And when I left Chicago and moved to Atlanta, when I got older as a teen, it got a lot worse, especially when it came to me like driving. It was terrible. And people think I make these stories up, but look, I'm not even joking. I was constantly singled out of, like, I'll be with a group of my Asian friends and I'll be the only one singled out. So knowing that with all of these experiences that I had growing up, as well as through my teens, I'm not gonna lie, cops don't make me feel safe. I'ma just super say it. Look, I am team blue all the way. I don't mind cops, but they don't make me feel safe. Until I moved here, and that's when things were starting to change for me. I realized that no one really cared about me. And that is a great thing. No one cared about me. No one gave me a second look. No one thought I was a threat. This is an amazing thing for somebody like me. Well, I don't know. What's that guy talking about? But this was incredible for me. Matter of fact, this actually occurred when my first time out of the country. That was when I realized it. When I went to Germany back in 2009. That was when I realized that, wow, I could be treated normally. And basically what I'm trying to say is that I could not do this in the States. I couldn't have that feeling of being safe in the States for a ton of different reasons. Whether it's from my wife working late and being worried about her coming home late because it's dark, or if I had my kids there and they grew up there, them going outside to play and being safe, or them actually just going to school, like pimp. I mean, these school shootings are like crazy. And then not to mention, like, I mentioned how in the States there was a shooting at a mall that my wife was at, and that's what I'm saying, man. I don't have to. This is something that we can do here in the Netherlands that we cannot do in the States, and that is just the ability of feeling safe and doing normal stuff. Like just doing the most normal basic thing. Ooh, quick side note, man, I don't know if y'all can see that, but it is so dark today. It is dark and it's cold. Side note, it actually snowed yesterday. It snowed last night and it snowed while I was working. It snowed a lot, like these huge, like big old chunks. But it didn't stick. See ya. Oh man, I'm gonna have to duck under here. It's starting to rain. Good, you know, actually I must duck over here because I got my gloves. I need to put these gloves on. It is so cold. And now back in the States, there are so many reports and stories on parents legit getting arrested because they let their kid walk to school, which is something else that we can do here in the Netherlands that you cannot do in the States in a lot of areas. Like, you cannot let your kids go to school by themselves, like walking by themselves. Here we go. And now this is kind of crazy to me only because I remember walking to school. Dang, I remember going to school like pretty much walking almost my whole life. We didn't really drive, so I took the school bus when I was in high school, but walked in elementary school. And now people and parents, they will get reported if they let their kids walk to school. And think of how crazy that is though. Like, how crazy is it that you could get reported just for letting your kid walk to school that's pretty close by. Like, cause obviously you're not gonna let your kid walk to school if the school's like crazy far away. But, geez, like, it's walking distance. They're capable of going by themselves. You let them go by yourself and you get a call basically saying like, yo, you need to turn yourself in because you let your kid walk to school. Matter of fact, I think it might even be like child abuse almost or something like that in the States, which is like mind-blowingly dumb. Like I don't get it. Versus here, kids go to school by themselves, kids ride their bikes by themselves, they hang out with their friends by themselves. It's a common thing here. It's almost normal. Now, are they doing this at a super young age? No. But that's what I'm saying. I'm like comparing it equally. Like, so the same kid, like maybe a 10 or 11-year-old does not have the same privilege as a 10 or 11-year-old here in the Netherlands. Like, it is just not like that anymore. And rather than fix the real issue of safety, they're putting these band-aids on everything else but the issue. Everyone knows there's a huge infrastructure issue in the States. Everybody knows this. And I'm being dead serious too, because this infrastructure issue is basically taking away kids' rights and their freedoms and also putting blame on the parents. And by putting this blame on the parents, it doesn't address the issue at all. Like, it doesn't help anybody. All it really does is legit just take more rights away from the kids. Side note, I'm hiding under here at this cheese shop because yeah, it's raining a lot. All right, it looks like it's letting up a bit. I'm gonna go for it. Let's go. Let's see how it holds up. Hopefully the drip don't get too wet. And now something else that you can do in the Netherlands that you can't do in the States is have a proper vacation. Because look, back when I was in the States and I worked for corporate America. Great job, great benefits. But man, holy cow. Something I was just talking to one of my coworkers about in a meeting, like literally today. Me and my wife are getting ready to go skiing. And he said, oh, you're having a really good vacation, a proper vacation. And I was like, man, you know what's so crazy is that I remember when I was working back in the States and you would think that you would get a proper vacation in the States, but nah, like you're getting what? Like you're starting off with like 3 days a year? It's insane. And everything else you have to like build up. Like you have to build up these days through your working hours. But since you don't have proper vacation days, what I did a lot, I mean, I don't know what other people did, but what I did was I would tie on personal days like that. I would just save my personal days and add them on to my vacation days that I was saving up for, which is crazy to think about. Oh snap. Popo, what's the Popo doing over here? I remember having my son in the States in LA. I had to do the same thing. So to get them a good amount of time off, what I did was I used vacation days and I used my personal days and I was able to use sick days. So I had to use all of these days just to be home with my son. So think about how crazy that is. Versus here, you do have proper vacation days. And if you have a kid, well, there's days for that too. You don't have to like basically steal from your sick days. Nice to meet you. Get good. Oh no, so I'm stuck at Animax until the rain dries. Until it stops raining. Side note though, I'm stuck here at Animax with the Popo right there. And look, do I feel nervous? Not at all. Like I feel like $1 million, and I feel safe too. And now recently I've been looking at all my insurances and my expenses, but mostly the insurances, because I have a lot of different insurances for a lot of different things here in the Netherlands. Good, thanks man, how you doing?
I'm just super safe.
Oh dang, I was gonna pull up in here at Coffee Habits, but they are closed today. Dang. Threw me all off my flow, man. But yeah, back on this whole insurance thing, basically I was comparing my insurances and I was just going through everything and I was looking at these insurance prices and I was like, dang, this stuff is actually really cheap. And matter of fact, I was legit just talking with my boy Sam from Exploring the Forum about this same thing because he's the one who brought it up. And then it made me look at mine and I was just like, dang, my house insurance, my life insurance, that stuff is actually like it's on the low. I mean, like on the low in a good way. I mean, for what you're getting, it is unbelievably like low price. And Sam was saying the exact same thing because in the States, it is not like that. Like you don't have good pricing when it comes to other insurances. This is actually really expensive. Like when I look, before I thought it was normal, but when I compare it to what I used to have in the States, or what I would get in the States that I have here, it is extremely pricey. And now just to give you a quick comparison, like I have a friend who pays roughly for just regular house insurance, nothing extra, nothing crazy, right? Not even the best, but he pays roughly about $270 to $300 per month for his home insurance. Meanwhile, here, I'm paying something equivalent to him, like for the same type of insurance, like equivalent. I'm paying roughly maybe 22 euros. And then on top of that, a lot of these insurances, as well as like even bills, like electric bills and water bills and stuff, you could negotiate at the end of the year. Like, no, but seriously though, you cannot, it's just not the same in the States. It's something that you can't do in the States. And it is a bit sad because them insurance prices are crazy, especially house insurance and stuff like, man, damn. As a matter of fact, don't go to Florida and don't go to California. They are like, people are just, I mean, these companies are just leaving altogether. I mean, right before the big fires that just recently happened in California, for example, insurance company a week before, State Farm left. Like they canceled everyone's insurance and just dipped out, leaving these people there to hold the bag. Like it is mind-blowing. Wow. And a quick side note, I would love to go to that place right over there. I have not gone there yet, but I would love to go over there, have a cappuccino, and just like chill out over there. Because I've never been, and it looks like that place looks so dope. And it's right next to the windmill. Pimping, like, man, I love that windmill. Wow, I'm all misty. Side note, I would sit outside too, but nah. Man, my hands are cold. Look at my, oh, you can't even see. Hold on. Recently, I went to the doctor, just did a checkup, and to my surprise, every time I have gone to the doctor in the Netherlands, I have never just been sitting home one day after the appointment, maybe a month, and then get a mail. And in the mail, it says that I owe like $5,000. This has never happened to me. Like, I'm just being dead serious. Matter of fact, it's been the opposite. I'm usually getting refunds that I don't even know how I get these refunds. I don't know what this stuff is. Like, do you know how hard it is to get a refund that you're owed in the States? Like, Pim, it's worse than trying to cancel your it's worse than trying to cancel your Amazon account. And now something else that I get to do here in the Netherlands that I can't really do in the States is actually have breakfast with my family. Now, I know a lot of you guys are like, what? Why can't you have breakfast with your kids over in the States? Well, Pippin, look, in the States, when you have kids that go to school, usually they'll have breakfast at school. So school for them actually starts, like, I believe an hour before they start school here. And what's funny, I was just talking to my friend, and this is what made me think about it, was I was talking to him, and he called me. I was like, dang, what time is it? Because he's back in the States on the East Coast. He called me, and he was leaving the house at like 6:30 to take his oldest son to school. Now, his son is 1 year older than my son, and he needs to be at like 7, but they left at like 6:30. Yeah, he gets him off to school. He's at school by 7 a.m. and then at 7 a.m. they have lunch at the school. This is actually similar to when I was in school. School started around, I want to say 7:30-ish, I want to say. And yeah, you would have breakfast, which wasn't bad. I'm not saying nothing bad with that. But you're not having breakfast at home. You're having breakfast at school. And yeah, they don't get to have breakfast together because they leave so early versus me and my family. We leave, they start school at 8:30, so we get to have breakfast. And now this is something that I have asked friends about, and just the timing of all schools and things like that. And it's very different from just, that guy was all up in my grill. Very different from how we've done school in America. They leave the house at 6:30. So that means they only have time to get up, get dressed, brush teeth, and get out the door. Versus here, with me and my kids, we actually have breakfast. We get up, we have breakfast, we talk, we play, we get dressed, brush our teeth, play, and then we are out the door around 8:05 or 8:10, and we'll make it to school at 8:20. The doors open at 8:20, they start at 8:30. And I don't know which one is better, which one's worse, but I do like the time that I do get to spend with the boys in the morning versus, yeah, I don't know, like, dang, that's early, man. Leaving the house at like 6:30? Man, I can't even imagine getting my kids ready at 6 a.m. and out the door at 6. Man, that is, man. Oh, you know what? I just realized I didn't even tell y'all while I was in Amsterdam. I'm actually heading into the office because we have a little work event. And the work event starts at around 4:30. So I'm gonna go ahead and head in the office, see some friends, see some coworkers, and hang out, and then head back home and put the kids to bed. I like to go in my office when I can. Oh, snap. Look. Oh, snap. What's that little car? Wow, look at that little car, man. Come on. I'm telling y'all, I'm getting one of them.